What is up, Facebook? Orlando here. I'm going to be doing these on the regular with a lot of my favorite shows. I'm just going to be doing these live reactions to videos, live, just me talking, just you and me. That's all that's going to matter, and everyone else who's watching. People don't know I'm a big DC comic book fan. Been a fan for a couple years now. I really got into it when I think it was the Nolan movies that really just like, yo, I really want to read some comics, and then the Marvel movies got me more interested. I was always a fan of Spider-Man, watched all the media forms of the TV, but we're getting into comics was something that kind of happened later for me in life, and then I started to appreciate it, do my research when I was in college, first time, so I've been reading it kind of late in life, but as many of you know, I got my Star Labs t-shirt on. And let's talk Legends of Tomorrow. So I'm going to start the first portion of this video is going to be spoiler free. The second half is going to be spoil filled. So one thing I want to get off the bat, Legends of Tomorrow. You know what? It had a very slow start. I thought the first two episodes of Legend of Tomorrow was kind of shaky because there was a lot of build up and a lot of setup, and it's very hard for people to get into the show if you haven't watched Flash or Arrow. But you could get into it without watching it, but you will be appreciative of it if you watch Flash and Arrow, which I highly recommend for both. Arrow, first two seasons are fantastic. Third one's a little shaky, and the fourth one's a little shitty. But Flash, for example, has been amazing season 1, and season 2, which is about to wrap up on Tuesday, which I'm told is going to be very heartbreaking. It looks like it's going to be very good. So let's talk about Legends of Tomorrow. I loved it. I have enjoyed this in series throughout. I think this is going to be a show that's going to get better for people if you binge watch it. So it kind of sucked watching it week to week to week because it was a very binge watch sheet show, if that makes sense. It wasn't like Arrow or Flash where there were some filler episodes. Even though you can technically say there were some filler episodes with Legends, it felt like a show that was supposed to go one after the other, one after the other. Every episode kind of felt like, all right, so we just did this, and what else are we going to do? That was a horrible Rip Hunter impression. Yeah, maybe good. Depends if you're sober. But one thing that Legends of Tomorrow does well is introduce us to a big group. And I've always wanted to kind of see how would a kind of Justice Society show or a Justice League show, how would that kind of be? And we've got it. You had Firestorm, who has been awesome. And listen, I love Robbie Amell as much as the next person. I think he's a great actor, and he's done a lot of great projects. But my boy who plays him now, Jefferson, I can't remember the actor's real name, but he's fantastic. And Martin Stein, their dynamic makes it super, super interesting, and I really enjoy that. You also have Hawkman and Hawkgirl, which at the end of this, when I get to the spoiler territory, I'll tell you how I really feel about them. When Captain Cold, who is the king of cheesy, so Wentworth Miller and Dominic Purcell play Heatwave and Captain Cold. They're from the show Prison Break, which I grew up on. I actually saw it live on Fox, so I wasn't one of those people who kind of saw it later on Netflix. Nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. If you haven't seen Prison Break, go check it out. One of the first 3 seasons are incredible. I remember my brother and I used to watch it all the time on Fox. You remember that, Nate? Yep. He just said yep. He's playing League of Legends. Shout out to Nate. And if you play League of Legends, hit him up my brother. He's always looking for more people to play with. Never mind. No, he's not. Alright, so one other thing that is pretty cool about this show, it brings Sarah Lance. Now, I love Sarah Lance because she was Black Canary first on Arrow. Spoilers, I guess. But Sarah was great, and I love Katie Lotz. One, she's absolutely gorgeous, and she's stunning, and she's a great actress. She plays the role very well, and is someone that we got attached to on Arrow Season 2. And I was really bummed out when she left the show Arrow. However, due to some circumstances, she was allowed to come back for Legends of Tomorrow, which would be explained in Arrow Season 4, the first half, so you should watch that. Alright, but now, and Rip Hunter, who is actually someone I read upon him with his adventures with Booster Gold later in the series. It's a really awesome story, the whole 52 plot line and everything. Booster Gold, his regular series is fantastic. I actually checked it out on DC Comics and Amazon and phone. I really need to buy like hard copies instead of buying the digital copies, though they're kind of cool, and I do like the fact that I can just kind of scroll with my phone. I need to get the digital, but I'm rambling on. So this is what I'm going to say. Legends of Tomorrow is a show that's a little uneven at first. You're going to have to sit through some pretty bad melodrama. Oh, how can I forget with Brad and Ralph? Ray, the Atom, who's fantastic. He talks a little bit too much and he's a little bit silly, but at the same time, I love the character, I love the actor. He was one of my favorite villains on Chuck, period. I liked his performance as Superman. I didn't like Superman Returns. And every medium that I have seen him since has been pretty good, except that dog movie he made a few years ago. That shit was terrible. Alright, characters out the way. Legends of Tomorrow is a fantastic time travel show. The time travel is a little timey-wimey. There's a lot of Doctor Who, Star Trek references, Star Wars references. So if you're a fan of that kind of Firefly, Doctor Who, DC Comics, superhero, actually doing superhero things, like some of the action sequences on the show is phenomenal. Yeah, you can tell that it's a TV budget, but you gotta use your imagination sometimes because it's pretty damn cool. Legends of Tomorrow, I give it a 9 out of 10 as a series for its first run. Would have been a 10 out of it got stronger and stronger. I'm going to lower that to an 8.5 out of 10, actually. I think 9 out of 10 is a little bit too strong, but I think where they're taking the show for Season 2 is going to be interesting. And now, let's talk spoilers. Sorry, Nate. Spoilers for Legends of Tomorrow Season 2. Everybody died. Okay, no one died. But Vandal Savage did, and that's really cool. I think it was one of the really cool ways that they got rid of the character. It was kind of awesome, and you always knew the team was going to defeat him. And they always, one of the things that kind of bothered me throughout the series is like, well, why don't you just kill him? Why don't you just kill him? You have him beat. Why don't you? They beat him like 6 times throughout the series, and they still don't kill him. And I guess it's just plot convenience because, you know, you can't kill the main bad just like that. But what the show does very well is that it just keeps us engaged. They go and they fuck up time like crazy. Oh my god. First thing Rip says, don't mess with time. These guys shoot guns in the Wild Wild West, laser guns. Like, are you kidding me? Jonah Hex showed up and he's all like, hey, fuck off. You know, like, and that's super cool. Like, Jonah Hex was great in this series. But let's talk about the finale. That's what we're all here for. It was a great finale. It was, I think that the moments that worked for me the best were the emotional beats of Sarah and her father. When she learns that Laurel has passed away, I think her reaction's very natural because God forbid something like that, I would put a knife to the person who can fix it. And I think her reaction was really good. And it's something we never got on Arrow. Like, one of the things that always bothered me was like, how the hell is Sarah going to react to the fact that when she goes back in time and sees that her sister died? And I think she handled it very well, and I thought it was really cool. I thought the beat with Heatwave and Captain Cold in 2013 was really cool. I thought it was an emotional send-off for Captain Cold, who won't be joining Season 2, which really bums me out, but it's okay. I enjoyed all the one-liners and everything that, hey guys, I'm in the spoiler territory of this review, so you might want to wait till this video's over to watch it. Still in spoiler territory, so I don't want to ruin anything for you. But Captain Cold and Heatwave, fantastic dynamic on this series. I always was worried how they would handle having villains on this team. It just felt weird. But I love the fact that Heatwave is going to be on board for Season 2, and that's awesome. But the thing that made me so happy, Season 2 will not have Hawkman or Hawkgirl. They decided to stay in 2016. They want some alone time. And you know what? As much as I love the characters Hawkman and Hawkgirl, I actually wrote a treatment for a Hawkman Hawkgirl movie, which is actually really cool. I might do a video on that. It's a really awesome kind of coming-of-age drama. I wanted to write a really intense, but I'm not here to talk about my Hawkman story, which is really, really cool. And actually has a similar plotline to what the show was, except with the less of the time travel-y, timey-wimey stuff. But Hawkman and Hawkgirl are no longer going to be in Season 2, and that's super cool, and I love that. And one of the best things they did, Hourman. Okay, so when he said his name on the show, I gotta admit, I'm gonna be one of those people who had to Google his name, because I never knew Hourman's alias. I only knew him by Hourman. But to see one of my favorite actors, Patrick J. Adams from Suits, play him, it was super cool. And it's going to launch us into the story. He says, he tells Heatwave, you're the one who sent me. I'm from the Justice Society of America. What? That's insane. They're doing Justice Society of America. I have a Justice Society of America hat around here. I can't find it at the moment, but I do have a Justice Society America. Smallville did Justice Society. I knew they were going to do Justice Society when they had Hawkman and Hawkgirl. I know they were going to have troubles actually calling themselves the Justice League, because we're going to get a freaking Justice League movie. But this is so cool, and I think Legends of Tomorrow it's only gonna get better, and that's what's good about having these shows on the CW. Unfortunately, CBS failed with Supergirl because Supergirl needed time to build her audience, and they had a good audience, and they have a good message, and I can see why Supergirl would not be, would not be for anybody. But what CW allows you is like, all right, look, this show needs some time to kind of get its footing, and Legends of Tomorrow certainly did. But once it found its footing, Legends of Tomorrow quickly turned into one of my favorite shows on TV. There was times I was watching the episode with Wilson in my room here, and we just enjoyed it thoroughly. It was super cool. You can't deny it's been a good season. I'm looking forward to season 2, which is going to come back in the fall, which is odd. I was expecting them to come back in the winter, but it makes sense with everything they just set up. I'm looking forward to more adventures. I'm looking forward to see how they build the Justice Society. Hourman! I hope they get Vixen on the team. Rumors is that Constantine is going to be a member, and that's fantastic. So, Legends of Tomorrow, 8.5 out of 10. Season 1, it was fantastic, and I'm just going to end this. Guys, I am making a Teen Titans story podcast. That's super cool because what we're going to do is it's going to be something that's going to be available for iTunes, Google. I'm actually talking to some animators to see if we can even make it kind of like a motion comic. What's going to be really cool about this is it's just going to be an interesting original story. The first season is going to deal with how these Teen Titans became together and why are these Teen Titans a team. So if you're a fan of the Teen Titans, you're a fan of DC Comics, and you want something a little more original, a little more edgier, I would definitely say it's not safe for work to play out loud. Though I am probably going to do a safe for work. Not that I'm having like sex or anything. It's just there's cursing and emotion because I think I wanted to write the script like teenagers speak. Even though I got fully, adults playing the roles. Originally wanted teenagers too, but that's a video for another time. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Legends of Tomorrow is really good. I'm going to do one for The Flash on Tuesday. I'm going to do one for Arrow on Wednesday. And then it's going to go into the summer break. You guys have a great night. God bless. Love you.